Oh, hello. Ross, can you tell me quick? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It sounds great.
Oh, okay. Hello,
So,
everyone. We can start slowly. Nice to see you guys on the call. Not a lot, but at least someone coming. And some of you knows me, some of you know. My name is Sibylle. Originally, I'm from Lithuania. I'm in UK 16 years. I used to have a photography business, wedding business, but what happened this year? Really bad. Business gone. Only my skills left. We opened restaurant 1 years ago, and really suffering really hard, guys. Really hard. Every day something new restriction, new rules. Looks like little bit peak and again. And my partner invest a lot of money and every day is in deep stress. I can see. I said you need psychology because when big money in the business and going down minus is people really depressed. So yeah, my friend Ruta, she showed me this platform, this company. I knew from before she's here in this company, but I never check what she's doing. I know she's great, she's successful, she's doing amazing results. So I was like, why not? Why not? Especially these days, you cannot guarantee traditional job, business, nothing guaranteed these days. So I jump on this business. It's nearly 4 months, but beginning I didn't take seriously. Just was watching more, looking more, checking more. So now I'm really successful. I have team already, and amazing results. And which I'm sharing with the people, with my friends. I'm helping to them. They start have income. And in this business, what I like is not only how to create the business and how to help the people. We have amazing golden nuggets. My business partner, Rose Garcia, you have crazy experience, 10 years with the Bob Proctor, is Bob Proctor consultant. And we have here this guy in our team, but I don't want to share with my team. I want to share with all of you guys this information. It's blow mind information, how you can control your mind, how you can control your life, how you can attract what you want. So yeah, let's put some fire emojis. Rose, I give it to you. We don't have a lot of time.
thank you. Thank you. So, we're back here, and it's a beautiful Thursday out here in the UK. So, today we're talking about chapter 13 in the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, this chapter, it talks about the brain. Yesterday, we were talking about the subconscious mind. Today, we're talking about the brain. Now, the brain is not the mind, okay? The brain is inside of your skull, right? Now, the brain is said to have 37.2 trillion cells, okay? So that is a very big number, okay? 37.2 trillion shares, cells. I'm thinking about stocks now. Okay. I don't know if you guys seen, but Bitcoin just got added to PayPal. So, but we're going into a new economy. And if you are not with people that are like-minded, people in this business, because we have a good we have a good company and tools to help us get to the next level. And one of the tools that we have is the mindset. We actually have Bob Proctor in the company, in our company. So, the reason Bob is working with us in this business is because he knows he could add value to the company. Um, so we are growing. We run, the biggest educational platform in the world, or one of the biggest educational platforms in the world. So, so I was thinking about shares, but you know, when I got this information, I was broke. Um, I was so broke that I had a hard time paying for my apartment. Now I'm 37, and you know, I've worked for companies like McDonald's. That was one of my first jobs. I worked for another company called Sears Corporation. If you ever go to Chicago and you see the big building, the Sears Tower, I worked for that company, Sears Corporation. Um, and it was started off by selling equipment on a magazine. That's how Sears got started off, and they totally blew up. And our industries have changed. Now we have Amazon. You don't have to go to a store to go buy tools or equipment. Now you can look at everything through your phone, and you could, you know, buy stuff through Amazon. Now I'm going to share a quote with you, okay, that I actually had posted yesterday. And he's this quote is by a man named Robert Hein. His last name is hard to pronounce, but he wrote a book called Strangers in a Strange Land. Okay. So if you guys want to buy that book, it's called Strangers in a Strange Land. And he says that you'll become beautifully equipped to a world that no longer exists. So what does that mean? That means that your way of doing things is changing. And if you don't change, then you're going to be left out, meaning that there's literally a transfer of wealth going on right now. In the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until ultimately we become enslaved by it. Robert Heinlein, he wrote a book called Strangers in a Strange Land. In the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until ultimately we become enslaved by it. Meaning that you're too busy looking at the TV. You're too busy with what's going on. What did Ralph Waldo Emerson says? To build a new model, if the old model is not working, build a new model that makes the old model obsolete. So we're building a new model, but our thinking is from the old model. So how can we change? And Napoleon Hill in this chapter of the brain, he's talking about that you have cells in your body, 37.2 trillion cells. Okay. Now, they've done research, mathematicians, people that are very, very intelligent, they've done research, and they know what gravity is, right? But can you control gravity? No, you can't, right? These are basically God's modus operandi, like Bob Proctor says. I love the way he says it. He says it better than me. But it's universal basic principles. You can't just say, okay, well, I'm going to pick up a car with my mind. You know, you're not in the Star Wars movie yet, guys, right? If you're in the Star Wars movie, you know, these people are flying around and jumping from buildings from here to there, right? So maybe one day we might get to that level, but right now we're too busy competing. We're too busy fighting with ourselves. We're too busy trying to go to war and trying to go into a country and export all their resources and pay them pennies on the dollar, right? So we haven't encountered, or we haven't started to work with harmony. We haven't started to help each other because we're too busy trying to fight for something that is our God-given right. We're too busy trying to fight to make a living when you need to relax. You need to sit and listen and take notes from people that have a track record. People like Jack Canfield, when he told Bob Proctor, I'm going to write Chicken Soup for the Soul, a book, and I'm going to sell millions of copies. And Bob Proctor's like, wait, hold on. Millions of copies? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think you're going to sell millions of copies of this book, Chicken Soup for the Soul. And not only did Jack Canfield sell millions of copies of Chicken Soup for the Soul, but he turned around and sold a company for millions of dollars. So it's true what Andrew Carnegie told Napoleon Hill. Any idea that's emphasized, that's repeated, that's either feared or revered. Taking over to the subconscious mind will begin to formulate itself into physical reality. Now, any idea that's repeated, that's feared or revered, taking over to the subconscious, what we talked about yesterday, will begin to formulate itself. Now, it can't go into the subconscious without the brain. The brain has 37.2 trillion cells. And you can't control gravity. You can't control the gravity. You can't control the gravity, but you can control the circumstance by controlling the way you think. That's what we know. Other than that, we're dabbling into it, but we don't know that much. Because Andrew Carnegie in the 19th century was the richest person in the world. And he told Napoleon Hill, he said, there's a hidden law of nature that not even the wisest of men can understand. Not even Isaac Newton, he looked into it in 1700 through a lens, and he figured out what gravity was. We looked into it in the 50s or in the 60s, and we created the internet as we know it. We looked into it and we figured out how to create applications on our phone, smart apps, Android apps, iPhones. So can you imagine the untapped potential that we have to go into as a species, as humanity? There is so much untapped potential that when I talk to my son, I'm in the car and we're driving, I'm in downtown Chicago, and he's looking at the buildings, and he's 10 years old, now he's 11. But what happens is when you're looking up, you can't even imagine that there'll be flying vehicles. Like, you can't even imagine that you might be able to be in a flying vehicle, that you won't be driving a vehicle in the next 20 years, that you'll be in the sky. Isn't it crazy to think that one day in the morning, you're going to wake up and you're going to look out your window and you're going to be seeing cars that fly? But you're not going to get that on TV. You're not going to get that from media, from friends, because they don't think outside the box. They don't think, what are the possibilities? So I love the quantum. I love talking about quantum, because if it wasn't for quantum, I wouldn't be here right now. You talking about a quantum leap? There was actually an episode, a series called Quantum Leap. And I used to love watching it as a kid. I used to watch all the time. It was about a man that used to go into the past. And everyone thought he was still that person, but he was the person from the future. And he was bringing in new ideas from the future to the past. And people were like, what the hell is going on? It was called Quantum Leap. So you can do a quantum leap in your income. You can go from 0 to hero, from nobody likes you to everybody wants to be your friend. Everybody loves you. Hey, Ross, what do you want today? Hey, Ross, what are you doing later on? Everybody adores you. There's so many people on the call. I want to start naming names. I seen Zero jump on the car, so I want to say, hey, Zero, everybody likes you now. You're wealthy, right? Sabil, everybody loves you. Everybody's calling you. Everybody wants to be your friend. It makes me feel good because you are going up against yourself, and you're also going up against your belief systems, and you're also going up against people that are not seeing the value in you. And I know what you're capable of. I know the value of you. I know the value of myself, but you're low on the energy. You need these calls. You need the energy from other people. That's why we go meet with our team and we go lift each other up. But unfortunately, not everyone's the same. And not even your mind, yourself, because your mind is programmed negatively by who you were up to this point, who they said you were. And this whole thing is about going up against the odds, going up against what is possible and what is not possible. I mean, it's not possible what they told the Wright brothers. It's not possible to fly a plane. but they got us off the ground. Now the world got smaller. We're able to go from A to B real quick. We're able to go from one country to another real quick. But you're able to do that in your finances, in the money that you make, in the business that you're working. And all you need is a pen. Because we're dealing with the creation process. So when you grab a pen and a piece of paper and you write out the life that you want, basically better known as a life script. And if you don't have a life script, then I would encourage you to write one. Write out a life script. Grab a pen. My name is so-and-so. I'm so happy and grateful now because so-and-so. This is what I have. This is what I'm working towards. In the grand scheme, you already have it. Nothing's created, nothing's destroyed. Right now, I can look outside the window. There is no flying planes. But in my mind, there is. And mind is the master power that molds and makes, and man is mind. So you are molding and making. Now, the thought of flying planes, it was just a thought. In the TV, on movies, it's reality. It's like they're doing it. Star Wars, flying drones and flying this, right? If you ever watched The Fifth Element, the movie, Bruce Willis, he's flying in a taxi. But literally, there is flying vehicles. Like, this is done. Like, it's done already. And your goal is done already. It's on a certain dimension. It's on a certain frequency. Your brain is a broadcasting station and it's a receiving station. You're letting go of a signal and you're also picking up a signal, a vibration. Everything is a frequency. Now, the frequency of the life that you desire, of your life script, is a frequency. You have to get on the frequency for the good that you desire, because right now you're on this frequency. The most important thing is your feeling. How do you feel about you? How do you feel about you? What other people say about you? And then when you start getting that, you're like, okay, I have to feel good. I have to do what's good. I have to travel more. I have to get out my comfort zone. I have to take off my shirt and, do something out of the ordinary. Jump out of a plane. I would love to go to an amusement park and go on rides, but unfortunately, most of the amusement parks are closed. So I can't get on a ride, but I would sure love to jump out of a plane, because that's how this feels. It's fight or flight. It's the emotion of a foreign vibration that scares you. I want to be in the foreign vibration. And I'm not talking about carrying a gun or going to the shooting range. I'm talking about foreign vibration all the single time. Name it and claim it. What do you want? And what's stopping you? I wanted to come to Europe. I'm here. I wanted to leave Chicago. I wanted to live in Hollywood, California. I lived in Hollywood, California. I would wake up and drink coffee and look at the Hollywood sign. Do what scares you guys. Get out of the comfort zone. And in most cases, it's not even about the money. Because when Bob Proctor's office called me and they're like, hey, you're making money in your business, the loan modification clinic. At that time, I was helping people with foreclosures. Why? Because I have a degree. I didn't even use my degree, but I was working in a bank. I had a mortgage license. Everybody was telling me I failed to go get a degree. So I got the degree, but I didn't need the mortgage license. No one was buying homes. So what did I do? I got on the opposite side. I started doing foreclosure defense. So there's always opposites. That's called the law of polarity. So there's 6 laws. The law of transmutation of energy. Energy just is. The law of vibration, which the law of attraction derives from the law of vibration. The first law is not the law of vibration. The law of attraction is a secondary law. The first law is the perpetual transmutation of energy. And science and theology, they disagree on a lot of things, but they come to an unanimous decision on one thing, that nothing's created, nothing's destroyed. So there is flying vehicles outside. If I look out the window, I can see them with my imagination. And that's the first step towards the creation process of what do you really want. The second step is grabbing a pen and writing out a life script of exactly how you want your life to be. Exactly. There's 37.2 trillion cells, and every cell is intelligent. There is intelligence all around you. You are a receiving station, a broadcasting station. And you have to be careful what you're broadcasting. You have to be careful what you're receiving, because they'll come to you real quick. Like Bob Proctor says, tune in on poverty. Believe me, it'll be delivered right on schedule. We talk about businesses closing down, change. We're going to become strange. We're going to become doing daily trivia, like Robert Heinlein said in Strangers in a Strange Land, till ultimately we become enslaved by it. Ultimately, you're the slave of yourself. You're watching TV, letting them enslave you and program you and thinking, oh my God, that's it, the world's over. If that's the case, then what are we doing here? If we're not for advancement, if we're for disintegration, because that's what the coronavirus is, disintegration. See, what they want to do is they want to control you, and they want to control the way you think. By controlling the way you think, you'll never get this. They know that you should not get this because we're waking up. Humanity is waking up. We're starting to be more of creators. We're starting to go into a new world of creativity, of possibilities. And there was a guy, his name was Ernest Holmes. He talked about this. He says, at its core, the energy is neither positive or negative. But humanity has been living in a state of confusion. We've been confused by this energy because of our perception. So we make it negative. We make it negative. And where was it negative? Through your parents, through your DNA. That's why James Allen said environment is more important than heredity. That's why people that grow up in poverty stay in poverty. So you have to wake up and snap out of it and start going into these type of lectures in these programs to control the way you think and to control the outcomes, because the outcomes are already here and they're all on different frequencies, and the frequencies are unlimited. That's why we deal with quantum, because in a quantum, when you're doing a quantum leap, there is no way, logically, there is no way you can be a millionaire. There is no way. No way. You'll never get rich. Never. You're always going to be broke, and you're always going to be a slave to the system. Go get a job. Go clock into work. You're never going to be wealthy. That's how the subconscious mind treats you. You're going to let it treat you like that? You're going to let it talk to you like that? And knowing this, of how easy it is to stand up for yourself, for your God-given right to be free. Money is the result. It's free, liberty, justice. America, right? If you only knew. Land of the free and home of the slaves, home of 99% of people are enslaved. They're performing daily trivia and they're getting the same results, the same way I was, working 9 to 5, having to beg for a vacation, having to go home and not be able to buy the food that you want, the clothing that you want, take vacations when you want, take out your son, your daughter, because you don't have enough money. Stop looking at what you see. Stop looking at what you see with your eyes, with your emotions. Don't let your emotions control the way you think. To think what you want to think, you have to think what is truth. This is what Wallace Waddle says in The Science of Getting Rich. Don't let your emotions control the way you think, because you're going to get more of the same. So you have to understand that the brain is going into the nervous system. You have trillions of cells in your nervous system, and you have to control the thought, and you have to grab the energy from the outside and direct the thought with the life script. Direct your thought with the life script. This is what I want. This is what I want. But Ross, what you see right now doesn't add up. It does not make sense. Perfect. That's how I know I'm growing. Thank you, God. It doesn't make any sense. Great. Great. It doesn't make any sense. Cool, right? Everyone around you is like, you're losing it, bro. You're losing it. And guess what? I made over, I don't even want to tell you guys, right? But it's not even about the money. But what I'm telling you is you could do the quantum leap. Make a big number look small. Grab a couple 100,000, grab a million, 10 million, write it in your palm, write it in the paper, write it in a gold card, write it. Because that's the first step, is when you write it, the creation process is starting to begin. What did they ask Van Gogh when he was doing work, his paintings? He says, I dream my painting, then I paint my dream. I dream my painting, then I paint my dream. You're never going to get an original. The original is in the artist's mind. The image of you being happy, healthy, wealthy is in your mind. Only you can know what you see. Everyone sees differently. Everyone has a different imagination, a different creation. So go into it, tap into the unpotential, tap into it, and go into the manifestation. Don't look at what you see. Don't let it bring you negative thoughts. There's a thin line between success and failure. It's so thin, Bob Proctor calls it the razor's edge. He actually did an event about it, the razor's edge. Failure and success is a razor's edge. Razor. And sometimes when you're going after your goals, you don't know whether you're succeeding or failing. You don't know whether you're going to make it or you're going to fail. But guess what? Fail until you succeed. Just like Thomas Edison did when he created the incandescent light bulb, he went through 10,000 failures. So don't give up on your goals, guys. You have a brain, you have nervous cells, you have emotions. Control it. Don't let your lower faculties, what you can see, smell, taste, hear, and touch, control the way you think, because if you do, you're finished, you're done. Create the circumstance like the other Napoleon Bonaparte, when he took over Europe. He used to tell his generals, attack. And they would say the circumstances aren't just right. He's like, circumstance? I create the circumstance. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. We don't have much time. I know we're already 2 minutes past. And I hope you guys find this information useful, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
Thank
Also,
you, Ross.
I want to give it back to
Crazy.
Sybil. I don't want to just hang up without giving it back to you. So I'll give it back to you and then we'll end the call.
Thank you so much, Ross. Amazing. Let's put some fire emojis for Ross Garcia. Our golden nugget, seriously. This information blow my mind every day, every morning. Make my day, make my day. Thank you guys for joining. And Monday to Friday, 12 p.m., jump on the school, bring the guests, bring the friends, and let's change our mindset. Let's feed our brains good stuff, no negative, no this poison, no this news, no this TV. So thank you so much, and speak to you tomorrow.